Doc Hudson is a character from the Cars franchise and a character who is truly important to the series because without him, Lightning might have possibly not have gained the development and possibly the knowledge to figure out how to be good at racing or truly be as experienced and good at racing as he is now as time of Cars 3 and of course Cars on the Road, but we never really see him doing that much racing, honestly. It's just exploring around, but still. Anyways, Doc Hudson is such a special character when it comes to really Pixar characters in general, at least in my opinion, because he's such a unique car and stuff, and the backstory and the lore and everything else. But that's the purpose of this video today. This is truly a Doc Hudson appreciation, and especially for Paul Newman because he is the voice actor for Doc Hudson, who unfortunately passed away in 2008. So, this is an appreciation video for Doc Hudson and Paul Newman. So now let's talk about why Doc is easily the most important character within the Cars series. Now, as we all know, Doc Hudson made his very first appearance in the Cars 1 movie, released all the way back in 2006. Doc is originally appeared to be a grumpy old car that really doesn't want to interact with anybody. Well, he still does care about his friends and everyone. I mean, he is the doctor of the town as he fixes up cars and everything else and makes them feel better. But in the overall, his main character trait throughout the first half of the movie is that he's also a courthouse judge who pretty much just doesn't really like interaction and stuff and mostly just keeps to himself, like an introvert basically. But however, as through the second half and the final act of the movie, he truly shows his true colors, as he's an extremely skilled racer who has raced for many years throughout his life. That is, until the unfortunate crash that appears when McQueen goes into his house and finds out all his racing pictures and the different piston cups he earned. But yeah, he was supposed to win his 4th piston cup, but he did crash, like I said before. But what makes this so interesting is that we don't really know about his character throughout the first half, and that makes it so surprising when we actually see that he is in fact also a racer too. He first tricked McQueen and just thinking that he was an old car who didn't really mean much back when McQueen was a rookie, of course, before the events of Cars 3 and everything else. But really, we come to learn that Doc is actually much more skilled than we thought. Other than being a doctor, he was also once a racer, meaning that he was also in McQueen's shoes when racing in the racing world, essentially. And really, in the end, Doc actually saw a lot of himself in McQueen. Back when Doc was a rookie, he was of course an arrogant race car, and as I'm assuming, like McQueen was. But truly, he did help McQueen out in becoming a better racer or person or car or whatever you like to call it, essentially. So yeah, really Doc truly helped out McQueen become a better person, and this is one of the reasons why he's one of the most important characters. The second reason why he's the most important character in the Cars franchise is that he's truly the one to really introduce racing as such an important thing. Now, he's obviously not the first character, in the actual franchise to introduce us to racing. That, of course, goes to Lightning, of course, the first movie in the Piston Cup. But truly, Doc shows that racing was not always what it always was, like we see today in the Piston Cup or even Cars 2 with the World Grand Prix. Well, that's kind of a different scenario because, it's kind of different. But still, Doc's flashback in Cars 3 when he was still alive and racing and when he flipped over the rookies shows that despite the fact that the Piston Cup is highly and mostly advanced now, the Piston Cup truly did have its grounded roots back in the day, where the dirt track was still around and the older cars were mostly just stock cars, true stock cars, not highly modified ones actually made for racing. They were truly just stock cars, just wanted to race because they really wanted to do so. And that's what made the Piston Cup so special, and that's what kind of really lost the Piston Cup today. Now, the Piston Cup is still relatively popular, of course, and many people are still racing on there, of course, like Cruz Ramirez, Jackson Storm, and maybe Lightning McQueen, because he said he's not done with racing yet, so maybe he might come back. He might not be the best anymore, but he's still capable of racing around. But still, this truly shows how Doc truly introduced the world of racing as not always being black and white, as we've come to expect. But the main reason why Doc Hudson is so important is because of the legacy he left behind after his death. Lightning still looks up to him, looks up to his mentor, his friend. He truly goes by to what he lives by when it comes to racing, anyways, but also truly just become a better car or a person, once again, whatever you like to call it. It's because that Doc did truly help reshape the franchise into what it was today. If Doc hadn't been there, probably cars wouldn't have been nearly as good. But because that he is truly one of the best characters, and honestly in Pixar, in my opinion, honestly, and even in Disney, well, probably not in Disney, in my opinion, really, but still, he is truly the best character, and most importantly, the most important character in the Cars series. And that is why Cars ended up being such a great franchise. And yeah, he truly does deserve the recognition he gets.